One painting sold for more than $500 million. That's enough money to buy private islands, luxury yachts, or even entire sports team. But surprisingly, it isn't Mona Lisa. Today, we're counting down 30 most expensive paintings ever sold. Some broke auction records, others were sold in secret, and one still sparks debate over whether it was even painted by the artist whose name it bears. Let's begin our countdown. Kicking off our countdown is Declining Mood with Blue Cushion. Painted in 1916, this painting sold privately in 2012 for $118 million, which equals about $165 million today. A remarkable price for an artist who struggled to sell his work during his lifetime. At number 29 is Otahe, painted during Gauguin's years in Tahiti. His bold colors and dreamlike scenes forever changed post-impressionist art. The painting sold privately in 2013 for $120 million, worth roughly $166 million today. One of the most recognizable images ever created, the scream has become a universal symbol of fear and anxiety. The pastel version sold in 2012 for $119.9 million, equivalent to about $168 million today. It remains one of the most iconic works of expressionism ever painted. This masterpiece showcases revolutionary pointillist technique, where thousands of tiny dots blend into a complete image from a distance. It sold at auction in 2022 for $149.2 million, now worth around $177 million. It stands as one of the finest examples of pointillism. Painted in 1905 during Picasso's famous Rose period, this portrait features a young Parisian boy wearing a flower crown. In 2004, it sold for $104.2 million, equals to roughly $177.6 million today. At the time, it became the most expensive painting ever sold at the auction. Jackson Pollock transformed modern art with his revolutionary drip painting technique. Number 7A, created in 1948, sold at Christie's in 2026 for $181.2 million. Its energetic splashes of paint continue to define abstract expressionism and demonstrate why Pollock remains one of America's most celebrated artists. At number 24 is 12 Landscape Screens, a monumental work by Chinese master Qi Baishi. The 12-panel masterpiece sold in Beijing in 2017 for $140.8 million, about $184.9 million today. It remains one of the most valuable works of traditional Chinese art ever sold. Painted in 1876, this lively impressionist masterpiece captures Parisians enjoying an afternoon dance beneath dappled sunlight. It sold in 1990 for $78.1 million, worth approximately $192.5 million today. It remains one of Renoir's most beloved and celebrated paintings. This striking 3-panel portrait of fellow artist Lucien Freud showcases Bacon's bold, distorted style. It sold at Christie's in 2013 for $142.4 million, equivalent to nearly $197 million today. For years, it held the record as the most expensive artwork ever sold at auction. At number 21 is another masterpiece by Gustav Klimt, painted in 1912. The painting sold privately in 2016 for $150 million, worth around $201 million today. Although often overshadowed by Klimt's first portrait of Adele, it remains one of the artist's greatest achievements. At number 20 is another masterpiece by Modigliani. Painted in 1917, this Declining Mood sold for $157.2 million, worth around $201.6 million today. Painted just months before Van Gogh's death, this portrait of his physician is one of the artist's most emotional works. It sold at Christie's in 1990 for $82.5 million, equivalent to about $203.3 million today. At the time, it became the most expensive painting ever sold. Meaning the dream, this vibrant portrait depicts one of Picasso's greatest muses. It sold privately in 2013 for $155 million or roughly $214.2 million today. The painting is celebrated as one of Picasso's finest portraits from the 1930s. Few faces are as recognizable as Marilyn Monroe's, and Andy Warhol transformed her into a pop art icon. This portrait sold at Christie's in 2022 for $195 million, worth around $214.5 million today. It became the most expensive 20th century artwork ever sold at auction. Often called the woman in gold, this dazzling portrait is covered in gold leaf and intricate patterns. After a famous legal battle over Nazi looted art, it was sold in 2006 for $135 million, equal to about $215.6 million today. It remains one of the Klimt's greatest masterpieces. Inspired by comic books, Roy became one of the leading figures of pop art. His painting masterpiece sold privately in 2017 for $165 million, making it one of the most expensive pop art paintings ever created. Painted in 1953, Woman 3 is one of the 6 paintings in the Woman series. It sold privately in 2006 for $137.5 million, worth approximately $219.6 million today. The bold brushwork and powerful figure make it one of abstract's expressionism defining works. This icon drip painting once held the title of the world's most expensive painting. It sold privately in 2006 for $140 million, equivalent to around $223.6 million today. Pollock's revolutionary technique forever changed the direction of modern art. Painted in 1917 to 1918, it sold at Christie's in 2015 for $170.4 million, worth roughly $231.5 million today. The sale set a new record for the artist and confirmed the enduring appeal of his work. Just missing the top 10 is Rembrandt's The Standard Bearer. Painted in 1636, it portrays a military flag bearer with remarkable realism and confidence. It was sold in 2022 for $198 million, equal to about $235.3 million today. It is considered one of the Rembrandt's most important early masterpieces. Opening in the top 10 is Gustav Klimt's The Portrait of Elizabeth Ledru. Painted between 1914 and 1916, it showcases Klimt's signature decorative style, combined with remarkable realism. The painting sold in 2025 for $236.4 million, instantly becoming one of the most expensive artworks ever sold, and one of the highest prices ever achieved for a Klimt masterpiece. Inspired by Eugene Delacroix's famous painting of the same subject, Picasso created 15 versions before completing version O. In 2025, it sold at Christie's for $179.4 million, worth about $243.6 million today. At the time, it became the most expensive painting ever sold at auction, proving Picasso's lasting influence on modern art. Unlike most entries on this list, these are 2 life-size portraits that have remained together for nearly 4 centuries. Painted in 1634, they were jointly purchased by the Rijksmuseum and the Louvre in 2016 for $180 million, equivalent to around $244 million today. The historic acquisition ensured the pair would never be separated. At first glance, it may look simple, but Rothko believed color alone could express profound human emotion. This abstract masterpiece sold privately in 2014 for $186 million, worth approximately $253 million today. It remains one of the highest prices ever paid for an abstract painting. Painted between 1904 to 1907, this shimmering masterpiece reflects Klimt's fascination with gold, symbolism, and mythology. It sold privately in 2013 for $183.8 million, or about $154 million today. Pollock's revolutionary drip technique changed modern art forever, and number 17A is one of his finest examples. It sold privately in 2015 for approximately $200 million, equal to around $272 million today. The buyer was a billionaire, Kenneth C. Griffin, making it one of the biggest private art sales ever recorded. Painted during the artist's first week in Tahiti, this vibrant work depicts two young women and reflects his fascination with Polynesian culture. It sold privately in 2014 for around $210 million, worth nearly $285 million today. For a time, it ranked as the most expensive painting ever sold. Only 5 versions of the card players exist. In 2011, one version was purchased by the state of Qatar for more than $250 million, worth over $358 million today. Art historians consider the series one of the painter's greatest achievements and a bridge between Impressionism and modern art. Created in 1955, Interchanged mark a turning point in de Kooning's career, blending energetic abstraction with hints of the human figure. It sold privately in 2015 for approximately $300 million, equivalent to about $407 million today. The sale cemented its place among the most valuable abstract paintings ever created. Claiming the number 1 spot is Salvator Mundi. Believed to depict Jesus Christ holding a crystal orb, the painting disappeared for centuries before being rediscovered and painstakingly restored. In 2017, it sold at Christie's for an astonishing $450.3 million, worth nearly $592 million today, making it one of the expensive paintings ever sold. Yet, despite its record-breaking price, scholars continue to debate whether it was painted entirely by Leonardo da Vinci or partly by members of his workshop. That mystery only adds to the legend surrounding the world's most expensive painting. From Renaissance masterpieces to modern abstract art, these paintings have rewritten the history of the art market. Which one do you think truly deserves its price tag? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me for more fascinating stories from the art world.